Hi there, this is Jason Renshaw from EnglishITutor.com. Now, I've made this video because as of now, February, I've heard that there have been some changes to the IBT TOEFL speaking test format, in particular with questions 1, 2, 3, and 5. Now, I'm just going on reports from my students that have taken the most recent tests, and these changes apparently appear to be quite major. So, I thought I would go through them and give you some samples based on what I've heard, and point out just some of the things you just need to be a little bit more careful of if you've been preparing for TOEFL speaking with any of the previous formats. So I'll start with question 1. And question 1 used to be a very open style topic. You know, you would give a general, you would be given a general topic to talk about a person or a place, and you could pretty much choose what to talk about. Based on what I've heard from my students recently, this has become a much more specific kind of question. Here's an example that I'm going to put up on the screen for you. Which of the following types of book, science fiction story, biography, or a mystery novel do you think you would not enjoy reading? Support your opinion with reasons and examples. Another example would be, which of the following holiday types, a guided bus tour, a private car tour, or a backpacking adventure, would you probably not enjoy? Support your opinion with reasons and examples. So you can see from these two topics that the format has become much tighter, and it is giving you a sort of broad theme like a book or a holiday. It might be movies, or it might be different types of activities, but like hobbies or sports, but you're given a range of options and you need to choose which one you don't like, or that you wouldn't like. So the object, instead of choosing an open topic and talking about what you like, now you're talking about something you don't like from a set range of options. So basically, in terms of strategy, this is very similar to what I used to recommend for question type 2, and that is basically it is a preference, and then you need to support that preference. But the change is now it's a negative preference. Like, instead of focusing on something that you like, it's focusing on something that you don't like. So, but the basic principles in terms of answering and responding are the same as they were for question type 2 in the past, and that is choose what you want to talk about. Let's say you decide that a biography is the type of book you would least enjoy reading, and then you would give a range of reasons and examples to support that opinion. You may also decide to give a main negative reason why you don't like one of those things, and then say why you would like one of the other ones or both of the other ones. But as you can see, the principle is still basically the same. What you need to do is make a choice and then give your opinion and say why you feel that way. And if possible, always draw on your personal experience or things that are personal to you to support those reasons that you give. So it's not that hard. It's not that different to what you've already experienced in previous TOEFL speaking questions. It's just a little bit more specific, and it's focusing a little bit more on the negative. So that's something to watch out for in your future TOEFL speaking tests. I'm not sure if that's going to become the regular format for question 1, or whether they're going to alternate it with the previous types, which were much more open, like talk about a person who has really inspired you, the much more open style. My feeling is that ETS likes for things to be very, very regular, so if they've made this change, it may be a more or less permanent change, but who knows? They haven't given us any formal notifications, no kind of indications at all. But anyway, watch out for that question, you know, a range of options, and choose which one you don't like and explain why. Now for question 2, I have heard from my students that that is also a little bit different. Question 2 used to be basically A or B, which do you prefer and why? But now it's more sort of like an agree or disagree topic. So I'll give an example topic based on what I've heard from my students who have taken the actual test. For writers, artists, and musicians, do you think it is necessary to be born with natural talent, or does hard work matter or does hard work and application matter more? Support your opinion with reasons and examples. Now again, this isn't vastly different from the previous format. It's still a choice between two options, and you have to explain, which of the two you agree with more, and then give your reasons and support them with examples. Same basic principle in terms of preparation, from what I've been advocating in the past anyway. So basically you need to make a choice and explain why you think that, and give some kind of convincing reasons based on your personal experience perhaps, and support that choice. Now, for questions 3 and questions 5, now the changes I've heard here are actually quite mild. For question 3, I've heard that the announcement is slightly different. Rather than just a change that's being made in the announcement, it's more of a change plus a plan for future action. So that's something to watch out for, but again, your preparation doesn't need to change a whole lot. Your basic format or template for answering that kind of question won't change a lot. You'll still need to summarize the issue, explain the student's opinion about it, and give the students reasons in response to that. So that hasn't changed a lot. Question 5, I'm very curious about that one, because students said now that the problem, it used to be summarized at the start, and then now the problem is being explored and talked about a little bit more further along in the conversation. As in, when the suggestions come along, well, the problem is still being discussed. So you need to think, you need to monitor that problem over the entire conversation. I don't think that's actually all that different. In all the preparation materials I've been making, the problem is extended to the suggestions as well. That is, the student, when they hear one of the suggestions, will say, oh, well, I've got a bit of a problem with that as well. They mention problems with regards to the suggestions as well as the initial core problem. So that my preparation materials are not all that different in that respect. They still, mine still incorporate that sort of factor into the problem and those suggestions. So that doesn't need to really change a lot either. You just need to be a bit more careful when you listen and monitor the problem, and when you report the suggestions, make sure you incorporate some more of that information regarding problematic issues that the student has with the other student's suggestions. And if you do that, your basic approach to the question shouldn't change too much. It should be okay. So I've given you a quick rundown of questions 1, 2, 3, and 5. I'm still getting more information. This is a very recent change. If I hear any more information, I'll certainly follow up with another video. The problem is ETS has not listed anything at all on their website. Nothing to go on, typical ETS style. But I do have about 400 TOEFL students, and they report to me a lot about what they're experiencing in the actual test, and I will keep up to date with that and let you know as I get more information. So thanks for joining me, and I hope some of that information still makes your preparation okay for the next test that you try in TOEFL.